Zeal Education Society, redefining excellence.
Welcome back. In the previous lecture, we have seen the data conversion and quantization, and at the end we had some conclusive remark that if we increase the number of bits of the converter, the nonlinear effects of the quantization can be reduced to a greater extent. Also, the quantization error can be reduced. Now, the next process in the conversion of the data is sampling and reconstruction. In the digital control system, the digital computer requires discrete time or digital data, and that is why we are using the analog to digital converter, and which can be approximated by a sampler. And the output of digital controller is discrete in time or digital in nature, and we want to convert it into a continuous time signal. So for that we are using digital to analog converter, and that is approximated by the whole device. So these two processes are called as sampling and reconstruction. So in today's class we will cover the concepts of sampling and reconstruction. So what exactly the sampling is? First let us see that. So sampling is a process in which the continuous time signal is sampled and converted into discrete time signal. So why this is required in ADC? Basically what we are doing, a particular sample of analog signal is captured, it is converted into digital, and this process requires certain time. So before conversion ends, if the next sample comes, then the conversion goes false. That is why what we need to do is we need to sample the signal, take one sample, convert it into digital, then take next sample, convert it into digital. So this is the process. Now in this process what is done? A sampler is used. What is sampler? Sampler is a switch. So the process is like this. So if here we have the continuous time signal x of t, here we get the discrete time signal x of kt, or which is also called as x of k. And where this t is the sampling period. So this is a very high speed switch which closes after every time t, and it is closed ideally for 0 time. So it picks unique sample, only one sample, and it opens. Then it is open till next t comes, and at the next t it is again closed. Next sample is picked, and the sampling process is done to convert the continuous time signal into discrete time signal. Now the next process is reconstruction. So what is reconstruction? It is a process in which the discrete time data is converted into continuous time data, or continuous time, you can see continuous time signal, discrete time signal or data. So how it is done? This is done by using whole devices, and the process is like, say for example, if you have a discrete time signal x of kt whole device will convert it into x of t, but here I will call it as y of t because I am going to illustrate the entire process at once, and in that we will see that this signal is not exactly reconstructed here. If this is constructed into x of kt applied here, then you will not get x of t exactly, but it will be very close to x of t, and I will call it as y of t. Purposely in this case, in general it is x of t. So what whole device does, it holds the data till next sample comes. Because the data is in discrete nature, so you have one sample at one time instance, then there is a gap, then next sample comes. So what whole device does, it holds the previous data till the next sample comes. And depending upon the type of hold device, that is zero order hold, first order hold, or some higher order hold, the nature of holding changes. But in control system, hold device used is zero order hold. So while illustrating sampling and reconstruction, I will consider the zero order hold device. And I have done this process at the back end, and just I will paste it here, this diagram, and then we will have a discussion on it. So here you can see this is the x of t which is continuous in time. The 3 dot indicates it is in continuous. Then this is the sampler signal s of t as a sampler switch signal. What is happening? See, it is closed. Then I am indicating it as 1. Then after time t, again it is coming 1. Meanwhile it is open, so no signal will move ahead. And then outcome will be multiplication of these two. So this x of k or x of kt will be appearing like this. So at this sampling instance, the data from this or the signal, this signal is captured, and we will get a discrete time signal. So what exactly we get is, in sampling, x of kt is equal to x of t with t equal to kt. Here k is integer, so this will appear only at integers, otherwise the signal will be 0. So this is done. Now if we want to reconstruct it back using whole device, so what is done? See, this is the signal. So initially it is at 0, so here we have 0. Then till this next sample comes, it will remain at 0. Then the next sample comes. Now till this next sample comes, it will remain at the same value, and this way it will be captured. It will be reconstructed. Now here in this case, what I have taken 16 samples per cycle. So sampling frequency is 16 times greater the signal frequency. If this is reduced, the step size will be larger. And in the red mark, I have shown the original signal, this one. And in the blue mark, it's y of t, this one. So see, there is a difference. Though the important thing is that the frequency of both the signals is same. So frequency contents are preserved, but the shape is distorted. Now if you want to reduce this distortion, what you can take? instead of 16 samples per second, you take 1000 samples per second. So this will be very closely spaced, and even these will be very closely spaced. If you see digital storage oscilloscope, you observe the sine wave displayed on the CRO as continuous in time, but in practice it is discrete in time. It is a reconstructed kind of waveform. But as the sampling frequency is very high, we look it as a continuous time signal. So if you increase the sampling frequency, this error in reproduction will be reduced. That is, in conclusion, what I can say, that if I increase number of bits, quantization error will be reduced. If I increase sampling frequency or reduce sampling time, this reproduction error will be reduced. So nowadays these issues are resolved because very high speed devices and with high number of bits for ADC and DAC are available, and hence nowadays we can use the digital control system very effectively. But now my another question is, here what I am getting the frequency of the original signal equal to frequency of the reconstructed signal. That means reconstruction is done at least accurately in frequency domain. Is it possible every time? So no, it is not possible every time. And for that there is sampling theorem. And what the sampling theorem suggests, I will make a sampling theorem. This sampling theorem says the reconstruction of original signal is possible if and only if sampling frequency is at least twice greater than the maximum or highest frequency component in the signal. Now, in this particular case, we have selected sampling frequency 16 times the original signal, and that is why we got it correctly. But if we select less than 2 samples per cycle, means what? If I select say 2 samples, 2 periods of a signal and only 3 times it is sampled, so the sampling theorem is not obeyed. In that case, reconstruction is not possible. So here what I can say, sampling frequency Fs shall be greater than or equal to twice Fm, where Fm is the maximum frequency component in the signal. Now here this is a single frequency signal, but a signal may contain number of frequency components. Then in that case we have to choose the highest frequency component, and sampling frequency selected shall be at least twice greater than that frequency. And same way, in case of angular frequency representation, the same is written as omega s shall be greater than 2 omega m, where omega is 2 pi f. So we have elaborated the complete sampling and reconstruction process, how it is done, and also we have commented that if you increase the sampling frequency, the reconstruction accuracy increases. This is enough in this class. In the next lecture, we will see the effect or illustration of the sampling theorem in frequency domain, as well as we will see what happens if the sampling frequency is less than twice FL. And what it is called as. Also I will elaborate that concept through a numerical example, and then we will select or we will see the practical considerations in selecting the sampling rate. Let us meet in next class. Thank you.